update tonight to a WECT Investigates report. The controversial surveillance cameras tracking you now expanding across our state.
North Carolina's new state budget will pay for more license plate readers to be put up on roads that you drive on. WECT's investigative reporter Connor Smith looking at what's inside the budget. So Connor, law enforcement can now put these cameras up on roads and keep them there permanently.
Yeah, that's right, John. The new budget effectively creates a statewide surveillance program open to any law enforcement agency in North Carolina. So regardless of what side you're on, it's clear that these cameras are here to stay. More AI cameras that store information about your car and where it's been are coming to North Carolina.
It blows my mind there's nationwide outrage, yet our state is moving forward to implement more.
Mark Williams is a Wilmington attorney who's part of the DFLOC advocacy group. FLOC is one of 4 vendors for the State Bureau of Investigation's license plate reader program. North Carolina's new budget makes that pilot program permanent and allows agencies to put cameras on state roads.
My reaction is it's shocking to me.
Every time you drive by one of the cameras, they take a picture of your license plate. Those pictures are then uploaded into a system that law enforcement can look through. Critics like Williams say the program is an example of unconstitutional government overreach, but advocates say LPRs keep our streets safer, helping catch criminals and find missing people.
Every single day, crimes are being solved across the country because of FLOC cameras. We're able to provide actionable leads for law enforcement.
The SBI's pilot program included the Brunswick, Columbus, New Hanover, and Pender County Sheriff's offices. A report the SBI sent to lawmakers noted 19 New Hanover County cameras on state roads recorded more than 35 million license plate captures, and that's just 7 months worth of data. The SBI's goal is to get cameras at every entrance and exit to our state.
We're Americans. We don't subject ourselves to that type of government surveillance. So yeah, they might be effective, but is it worth it?
As the state program continues expanding, so does the debate between safety and privacy. The SBI declined to answer our questions about the program on camera today. The Bureau will present an update on the program to the General Assembly that's set for October 1st. Connor Smith, WECT News.